Hey guys, Joe here, and here I'm going to be talking to you about top 5 best glass cannons in Super Smash Bros. 4. Now these are the characters that I feel like have a lot of damage, have a lot of kill potential, but at the same time just have something that really puts them not quite as good as they could be, and it's just a really bad thing about them, but at the same time they're very strong characters in their own right. Well, with all that said, let's get this started. To start off this list, I'm going to go with one of the lightest characters in the game, of course, Jigglypuff. Now, we all know that this little puffball is one of the easiest people in the entire game to KO from the small weight, and the fact that she does die when her shield is broken, which is a pretty big problem. Jiggly gets mauled by a lot of moves, but does have some things up her sleeve in order to counteract some of these difficulties. Now, she does have amazing aerial combos from nair to forward air, and some back air, even down air sometimes. One mixed with early killing moves allow her to do a little bit of a trick and let her do some damage and get some kill moves. But of course, with all this mentioned, I couldn't forget her rest. The move alone, rest that being, can make or break a match as Jigglypuff, especially on the final stock versus an opponent. It kills very, very early, even up to 30 or 20%, but at the same time, if you do miss your rest, it leaves you extremely open, and the opponent can of course punish you and kill you super early since you are one of the lightest in the game. Wii Fit trainer may be sort of a shock to many of you to see her on this list, but in my opinion, I feel like she very much deserves to be right here. She is quite light, and more importantly, she's extremely tall. This makes her get comboed really easily, and then lets her get shunned off stage by the opponent, along with not the best recovery in the game and a pretty slow one. Now, the great thing about Wii Fit, however, is that she has some amazing power to counteract the advantage her enemies have versus her. She has some of the strongest smashes in the entire game, with precise but powerful hitboxes, mainly up smash, down smash, and side smash. These things alone are very beastly, but mixed with the extra knockback from your down B, you have the winner on your hands. Also, something to mention is that she can combo nair into up smash for very early kills, and her F tilt is one of the earliest killing to F tilts in the entire game, and it works almost anywhere on any map, and if you're on somewhere like Battlefield, expect 50% kills. Shulk and Buster form and Smash form come to form some of the strongest ways to get damage on your opponent and some of the strongest ways to finish them off. Buster, of course, does make you do a ridiculous amount of damage with your combos and allows you one hit to count for at least 2 or 3 of your opponent's hits, which is very strong. Now, this Smash form also allows you some amazing power by making your smashes even more powerful and all your other attacks to boot, making them some of the strongest in the entire game and making you be able to kill extremely early. But with all these benefits, there has to be some downsides that do turn them into a glass cannon. First off, Shulk and Buster form is very powerful, can punish extremely well, and so much more, but the problem is that if the opponent does get close and starts to combo you, then you will take an extremely high amount of damage, as the Buster form does to make you take a little bit more damage. You don't also have a get off me move, so this means the opponent will be able to hit you over and over again, and you don't have a way that you can really deal with this. Of course, a similar weakness comes with that Smash form that I was talking about earlier, that being that it makes you one of the easiest characters in the entire game to kill, and makes when opponents try to smash you, you're going to go off the stage really early, and they'll just be able to demolish you. So in general, you'll have to be very careful in these modes. With great power comes great responsibility, as we do all know. Game & Watch is one of those guys that people just can't quite decide on whether he's good or whether he's bad or where he is on the tier list, what's going on with him. He has many very strong combos, even some combos that can actually kill to death in beginnings or to death or something like that. And he also does some of the strongest smashes in the game, his up smash making you pretty much invincible, and his side smash and down smash killing really early with great hitboxes, and just the ability to kill somebody out of nowhere with his down throw side B. Now, the main problems for me and this guy is the fact that he just doesn't have the weight he needs to have in order to be great, and this really is his main problem in my opinion. He does have a fine recovery, pretty good at aerials, and a somewhat get off move, that being his up B, but when it comes down to the thick and thin, I feel like his weight is what really makes him balance. With Game & Watch, you really can't quite easily and safely get out of opponents' combos with your weight. You're just in that little zone where you early die from the opponent, but at the same time you don't really get out of their combos. It's kind of weird, and it's a very weird mix in my opinion that makes Game & Watch go from a pretty OP character to a very balanced one in my opinion. Of course, after the side B nerf, we all have come to know and love the hard-hitting, ground-based, super armored beast that dies at 0%. This being Little Mac, of course. Little Mac has a ton of great things going for him. Very quick, strong smashes and tilts, super armor, a great dashing speed and dash grab, and also a great pivot grab, and just a really good roll in general. But there's just the big downside of him, that being that he does get gimped super easily. Now, this can be countered by a defensive Little Mac player, but if the opponent is camping with a projectile, you are personally forced to approach, and if they're on the ledge, it can become hard very fast, especially on a stage like Final Destination where there's only one way to approach the enemy. Little Mac does take a ton of practice to know when to go in and out, one to do the risky thing and one to not, and just how to play versus someone who is doing amazing at defense. Playing Little Mac is a very weird skill where you have to know how to play a character who is so amazing, but at the same time has such a huge and hindering weakness. One thing is, Little Mac is really a balance. He just does so much damage and kills so early, but the same also applies to him. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy this video and you want to show a little bit of support, make sure to press that like button and also comment down below what characters you feel like should have been on this list. Also, please comment down below future top 5 videos you do want. Of course, I am running a little bit low on these top 5s, and this was actually recommended by some people in the comments, so you could see your own videos recommended in the future. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.